we wanted to do a quick thing and just kind of tell everybody like there's always this thing about pro golfers. You have all these pro athletes, right? That are like, well, we do this and we do that and we have sponsors. People don't realize if you are in the top 125 in the world, life is great, right? You're always making cuts, you're making money. So the golfers, though, every single one of them, they pay for their tournament entry fees, their travel, everything. And the caddies themselves pay for their own travel as well.
Golf
So,
is an expensive sport.
right. So let's say you and Steve, the entry fees into these tournaments are massive, right?
That's not just the equipment that you need to play the game is
Correct.
ridiculous.
I can tell you my bag of clubs is just over $3,000 is what overall it costs to put it all together. So, and these
Wow.
guys, yeah. So you take all of that, right? And now you have to pay for your entry fees. You pay for Airbnb, right? PGA does give every player a courtesy car, usually a Cadillac, because that's their sponsorship. If these players don't make the cut, that means they play Thursday and Friday. You have a cut line that's 50 to 75 players that go on to play the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. If you miss the cut, guys, you don't get paid. You leave with nothing. So you might have 10, 15, $20,000 into that weekend. You don't make the cut. You go home. You don't get any
Wait,
money.
you have to pay the entry fee for
Oh yeah. Yep.
for the warm up?
It's not a warm up. It's a 4-day tournament, Nick.
Mm.
You
And then
understand?
I do, and then you have to qualify for the weekend.
Yeah, your overall score, if you don't make that line, that's whatever, let's say top 50 is what it normally is. If you don't hit that score in your Thursday and Friday rounds, then yes, you get cut. You don't make the weekend. You don't make it to the final rounds 3 or 4.
Okay.
And you go home. No money. There's
Right.
no money. It's tough. Like it is a tough life. And then you have what's called the Corn Ferry Tour, which is the tour. They're all pros, but they're trying to make it to the PGA Tour. It's almost like the minor leagues. Caddies also pay for all their own travel. And depending on the golfer, they get anywhere from 6 to 10% on the higher end. Isn't that crazy? So yeah,
That's nuts.
if you don't make the weekend, you're asked out.
Wow.
It's wild, man. So it's a tough. It's a great life to a point, and these guys do have sponsors. So I'm sure they get some money, sponsorship money, and stuff like that, which definitely helps. But imagine being in a slump and there's no paycheck like in the NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB when you're playing. At least you're getting a check, even if you're in a slump. You're in a slump and you don't make weekends on the PGA Tour. You're not getting paid at all. It's tough.
Wow.
Isn't that
Again, it's an
interesting?
Yeah,
expensive
that's
sport.
way different.
Yeah, it's very different. And people are like, golf's this. It's an insanely difficult sport. So,
Hmm.
so anyway, just thought that was an interesting little tidbit that might be interesting to listen to. So,
Yeah.
with that said, we are going to do a little ladies' corner this week. We're going to talk about some golf terminology. Okay. My wife said when I was talking to her about it, because this whole thing, ladies' corner, was my wife Ashley's idea. Thank you, Ashley. Well, hopefully people enjoy it, but there are some terms out there. Ashley said, "Tell him what a bogey is." So,
Okay. How about
you've
you try
got
to stump us?
no. Stump you. No, it's just a bogey. So, in golf, the goal is to have the lowest amount of strokes. That's how it's scored. If you're under par, that's really good. That means if you shoot under par consistently, you are what's called a plus handicap. So, but we're not going to get into that. The term bogey means you're 1 stroke over par for that hole. A par is how many strokes it takes to go from teeing off, that means starting the hole, how many total strokes it takes you to get the ball into the hole at the end of that hole. Okay?
Mhm.
So, if it's a par 4, that means you have 4 shots to get it in the hole. So you tee off, that's 1 shot. Then you go find your ball, you hit the second shot, that's 2. Then you get 3 and 4. Once you've hit your 4th, if it's not in the hole, now you're going for a bogey. A single bogey means 1 stroke over what you were supposed to get it in the hole. That's a bogey. Now, you can also have a double bogey or a triple bogey, depending on how many times it takes you still to get the ball in the hole. And that
Mhm.
is a bogey.
And then every hole on every professional PGA level golf course is either
Correct.
a par 3, 4, or 5, correct?
Correct. There's never
Yeah.
more than a par
Or less.
5 and never less than a par 3. And
Mhm.
honestly, Nick, that's pretty much. I've never played on a course that has a par 6. I know they're out there, but
They're not played by professionals. They're not, I mean,
yeah,
that's just somebody who turned their runway in the backyard into a driving range.
probably yes, absolutely. But anyway, yeah. So that is a bogey. Now a birdie is if you get it 1 stroke less than the suggested amount. Like
Mhm.
Nick said, if it's a par 3, if you get a 2, that's a birdie. If it's a par 5 and you get it in 4 strokes, that's also a birdie. That's 1 under the par. An eagle is 2 strokes under the par, unless you're on a par 3. That's a hole in one, also known as an ace. So there you
Okay.
go. And if
I
you
like it.
get it in the suggested number, like if it's a par 4 and you get a 4, it's a par. It's considered a par. So that is this week's Ladies Corner. I hope it helps. I hope you enjoy.